Hi, Kuhle.
Hi.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
We're excited that you're here. And also we're excited about your Safta nomination, the first one. Man, I saw a clip that you posted when your Expresso team, your Expresso family just surprised you. You didn't know about the nomination at that time, right?
I had absolutely no idea.
Wow.
The brief to me was we're doing check-ins with our presenters who are away from studio. And it added up because they had Jamie Lee co-present at some point, like a week prior, the day before they had Leanne in studio. So I'm like, okay, cool. Like, this is what it is.
It made sense.
It made sense. The next thing, they're announcing the nominees, you know, but I'm not seeing what's happening on the show because I'm on the line.
Oh, yeah.
And then when Carl Westy was like, oh, there's a familiar name, you know, amongst the nominees, and that's you, Kuhle. I was just like, there's absolutely no way. You must be joking.
And I saw how you just teared up at that moment. I know being a Shalanga, you know, it had not sunk in at the time, but when you took time during the day or maybe days later, how did you feel about it?
It literally took days because like once you hear it and then it goes out of your mind because it's not real, and then you see social media and everyone congratulating you, and then after a while it sort of sinks in when you see fellow nominees as well, the likes of Nomalanga, Pop Pops, Devi's there, LaConco, and other incredible personalities like Dante, Ray. Then it sinks in, Ubana, oh, okay, like I'm named amongst these incredible personalities. And I mean, it's a diverse group of people with like a varied content space, if that makes sense. So it really sank in way after the announcement. But this is a nod from industry, from my industry peers, and it's already a win for me, the nomination alone.
And when you look at, because you're nominated among other 9 personalities, like you said, it's like it's 10 of you.
Imagine.
When you look at the other personalities that you're nominated with, amongst the greats, amongst people who have been there, people who started with you, people who started after you, what do you think about the people that you're nominated with?
They're incredible. I think just the list alone shows that as South Africans, we are very much spoiled for choice when it comes to, you know, the variation of content that we have to offer on television. Television is still a great platform as much as it's viewed as a traditional medium of communication, but it's still largely well received by South Africans because a large majority of South Africans don't have access to the digital space. They still rely on TV for entertainment, for news, and all of that. So those people are fantastic, man. I mean, we have legends in this list, and we have young people in this list, and we have people who, as you've mentioned, started before and after me. It's funny because Nomalanga Shozi was my judge when I entered a presenter search at some point in 2017.
Oh, I remember the
right? The MTV-based VJ search in 2017. It was her, Lut Love, and Thomas Gomede. So as soon as the list came out, she sent me a message saying, I'm so proud of you. Congratulations. So that's why I'm saying the recognition alongside these big names alone means so much to me.
Sure, and you've put in a lot of work, right? So somebody said, you know, most people would always say overnight star, but we've seen you going to those presenter sessions.
Girl.
We've seen you on Rough It Out. We've seen you on Phenomenal Media, Phenomenal TV, right? You have been putting in the work. When you started at 19 years old, was it like 19 years ago? Bruh, when you started, what were your goals? What was the vision? Because it seems to me, Guti, being a presenter, being a broadcaster is the only dream, or not only dream, but the biggest dream you wanted to do with your life.
Yo, you're taking me back. It was 2016 when I got my first gig. It was Roughing It Out, a children's environmental competition show. The dream then was just to be on TV, right? Not just to be on TV, obviously to entertain. But the older you get in the space and, you know, and when you respect the field that you're in, the people that you work with, and the space that you work in, you realize that it's bigger than just entertaining. You know, it's reaching millions of people. So what you say and what you do on screen is important. And I think my why was officially answered when we were experiencing the lockdown. 2020, lockdown, people are losing their jobs. We're locked in. We don't know what to do with ourselves. And at the time, I had just joined Expresso. And that's when I realized that the work that we do is important and it is needed, because you would get messages from people online via DM saying, you made my day today. When you made that joke, or when you kept us, updated with current affairs at that point, when you were just being silly in studio, with your colleagues or your co-hosts, it makes you realize that it is more than just entertainment. You are reaching an actual person. You're speaking to someone, and you never know what someone is going through at that particular point. They just need that tiny bit of push in the morning, that little bit of motivation, and your smile inspires their smile. It sounds so cheesy, but that was my why. I'm doing it for abantu, especially abafana nam from Emagxaki okanye from Ezwide eGqeberha, people who were experiencing, the toughest moments of their lives at that point. Okay, cool. The work that we do is more than glitz, the glamour. It's about impact at the end of the day.
And the impact is now showing. Your first Safta.
Imagine.
I hope you win, man. I hope you win.
I hope so too. I mean,
sure. But most people always say, even if I don't win, a nomination alone means a lot to me. It means my work is seen, my work is being recognized. I'm amongst the best. I am the best, you know. Does it also feel the same way for you?
Absolutely. I mean, as in the now when it's not all about just reflecting on my journey and where it comes from. I think the recognition is wow, Kuhle, you really did that, dude. 8 years in the game, and you are recognized amongst the greatest of talent in the country. That recognition is beautiful. It's to say, Bana, you are on the right track. You're doing the right thing. You are where you're supposed to be. So I'm feeling elated. I'm excited. I'm just okay, girl, you did that. Yes, child. The trophy is the cherry on top.
Of course.
But I think the campaigning is the win.
Of course.
And just it's also opening me up to more opportunities, just being listed as a nominee for Best TV Presenter out of all the presenters we have in the country. So we can't take it lightly at all.
So, having heard what you just said now, I know that every nominee has a dream of winning.
Yes.
Even if Aksinto or Kulu, but what would meaning this award mean to you and for your career?
Yeah. So it's gonna sound so cheesy, but walk with me, okay?
Trust the process.
So Bandu, I think, has been the epitome of why I'm here. I've been voted into winning Expresso.
Yes.
Do you understand what I'm saying? So it is by public vote, by public opinion, Ukbana. From the MTV-based VJ search, from Social Star, even before I got my first gig, it's the viewers and the audience and the supporters that have always pushed me to make sure that I attain this dream and they make it real. So this win for me would be for that. It is the embodiment of when we do come together, we can make each other's dreams, come to life and come to fruition. So it would not only be for me, it would be for everyone who's been rooting for me. It would also be for everyone who's probably there's no way of coming out of this life or circumstance I am born into. But it's also to say that you can't allow your circumstances to define you. I think that the power is within you to sort of change the narrative for yourself and your life and for your family. And I've been afforded that opportunity through the talent that I believe God has given me. And Nabandu, he has exposed me to make sure that I am supported to get to a point where I need to be. So it would be for all of us. It's not just for me. Even guys sick and guys sick, every single body.
If it was possible.
If it was possible.
There's nothing cheesy about that, okay? Just, And you know what? When you look back and reflect back to 9 years ago, when you started, I know there's been challenges along the way, you know. When you look back today, man, what do you say to that girl who started a long time ago, what the industry has in store for her? How does it feel? What do you say?
The dry seasons. The dry seasons, the tears, the not knowing if you are making the right decision. Are you taking this project on because of desperation or because it's in line with what you want to do? I just want to say it works out, right? And I'm pretty sure I'm also going to look back to this moment and there will be something I want to say to myself now in the future. But for now, it works out in this moment. We're celebrating something really good and exciting that's happening in Bomin. And that is because you have you've kept the main thing, you know, and you saw it through and continue doing that. See it through and stick the course and always be true to yourself because along the way, right?
And you know, we see you on TV every morning. We see you in girl, right now, you are with Expresso.
Yeah.
You're doing 2 breakfast shows. How?
So the second breakfast show is a corporate one. It's an internal breakfast show. It's called The Movement. Yeah, man. It's honestly, it's beautiful because it also opens you, you know, in as much as it's an opportunity, you're also learning in the different spaces that you occupy and you honing your craft as well. So you're just becoming refined and better and better and better. So I'm just like, oh, okay, I'm being refined. I wonder what's the ultimate thing that we are heading to right now. But it is an internal breakfast show for corporate and
You've got 3 jobs right now. Just putting it out there. Because there's also What's Hot Mzansi.
What's Hot Mzansi.
Sure, man.
What's Hot Mzansi. It's so funny because also the What's Hot Mzansi is a digital companion show for Mzansi Magic.
Yeah.
What's Hot Mzansi is also nominated, right, at the Next Generation Awards.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
So I've been with What's Hot Mzansi for over a year. And I also really love that platform because that one, you see a lot more of my personality in it. You see a lot more of my personality in it. It's punchy, it's straight to the point, very short, 5-minuters. But now the format of the show has changed in that we go on the sets now of the different shows, telenovelas that we love to watch on TV. So yeah, man, it's honestly been so much fun. And just trying out different formats of presenting and content and all of that has been the greatest joy this year.
And you know, I'm mentioning the shows you're doing because I want to bring in this thing, Oguti. We see you on TV almost every day actually. And we think, oh my God, they're living the best life. It's the glitz, it's the glamour. But a person who's outside the industry wouldn't know the challenges that you guys face. Is it always the glitz and the glamour? Is it always what we see on TV? And when days like that come, we're just like, oh my God, I'm not sure if I want to still do this. What keeps you going?
What keeps me going? Because, I mean, you do have days where you're just like, I don't want to get out of bed today.
Am I sure if I
And that's a fact. Career, you know what I mean? Yeah. But there are moments where it's like, it's fun. You really love what you're doing. But what keeps me going is, like my family, my mom. My mom has instilled a sense of like, this work ethic in us. Since 15. I was a runner at John Dory's back then. In varsity, I worked at retail. So I've always had a work ethic instilled in me from a very, very young age. So that commitment and that idea, but at the end of the day, 45, I want to be at a certain point. So I have to keep going now because this is my prime time. You know, this is my best time to put out my energy out there. But it's not to say I'm not tired. I am tired. The 5-minute inserts of me, traveling South Africa, KZN, or wherever it may be, takes 3 days. 3 days of hiking, but on TV, you'll see me under a waterfall. But I'm tired, and the next day I have to wake up at 6 again and do it again. So it's just a matter of the final product. I know it's always worth it, although the process may be tiring and daunting sometimes. At the end of the day, we have to see it through. And Urasi was like, I watched Chasing the Sun and I'm so obsessed with it. And he was just like, keep the main thing the main thing. And yabona, we're celebrating Springboks winning back-to-back in World Cup. Yes. But we didn't know what's happening behind the scenes and the challenges that they were facing. Going into his personal life. But we celebrate that final product when they lift the trophy. That's the point and that's the purpose.
We don't know the hard work that goes into
it.
That's why too. You don't know what happens behind the scenes, you know?
The effort they put in, the challenges that they face.
Yeah.
Or the choices they have to make to be where they are.
Hence somebody said it takes 10 years of hard work for a person to become an overnight star.
Imagine overnight success. Who's this Kuhle Adams girl? Girl, I've been. K-Town TV, I've been.
Because now it's just like, oh, she's pretty. That's why she's all over TV. You got she's big.
Have they seen me on Roughing It Out when I was...
Sana.
I don't even want to get into it. Okay.
Ma'am, how has the industry treated you as we close? How has it been to you? The almost a decade of you being our star.
In the industry. And go Siman when we were saying that I'm your star, girl, stop. I've had the pleasure and the privilege of of meeting people who have contributed positively to my growth and my success in the industry. And me interviewing them, on the side, I'll be like, okay, cool, like Uli and Manas. I'm like, girl, you're celebrating 20 years in the game? What is it? She's like, for her, consistency feeds into longevity. Yeah. So don't chase the bright things now. If you remain consistent in the things that you are doing now and take your time with it, that's what creates longevity and sustainability. And my biggest thing is I want to create longevity for the work that I do and a sustainable career in this industry that will feed me, my family, and also create a legacy for my family. Because at the end of the day, like, oh, retire, so you want to retire with something. So that's the biggest thing that I am seeking right now, because obviously the first step is getting in. The second one is how do we create like a sustainable career and grow within it, and how do we create a legacy after that. So I've met like incredible people, but it does take time, Bumi. It's not I've shown up now, like give me everything that I want. It's a matter of, okay, cool, I had to do phenomenal TV in order to maybe work on my craft at that point, which was a YouTube channel, still is a YouTube platform. I had to do Cape Town TV, which was a community-based channel. I had to audition for a social star back in the day. So many other things like fillers in my career that kind of redirected me to where I am now. Yeah.
And they've really shaped you to being the presenter. Your art.
Yeah. Girl. Taxi rank, the interviews. The good red carpet the next day. So for me, it's like there's no opportunity too small. It's almost like with every opportunity I get in, I'm like, okay, cool. How do we grow within the space? And also, how do I contribute to make this space grow to be, its best form, to be in its best shape or form as well.
Thank you, Kuhle Adams.
Thank you guys for having me.
I wish you win that Safta, okay?
And go. Vote. Star 120, star 3, 2020 hash. Okay, it's number 7.
Yes, please.
Don't look at other numbers.
Yes,
7.
Please.
Thank you and goodbye.
Adams. Thank you so much.
Thank you for me.
Thank you, Kuhle.